Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I want to share with you a sales style that you can use on the phone that makes your conversations easier, more enjoyable, and they convert like nothing else you've used before. I'm even going to give you a little bit of a framework for a script. Let's get into the video. First things first, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is John Penberthy. I'm the founder of a marketing education company called AdClients.com. We specialize in helping coaches and course creators to scale the sales of their programs online. We've done close to 20 million in online sales selling our own stuff. So we know a thing or two about this topic, and we teach a bunch of it right here on the channel. If you're watching this, perhaps you are taking some calls from time to time. You're speaking to prospects, or you have some people that are interested, and perhaps you're getting more no's than yeses, and it's becoming increasingly frustrated. Maybe your motivation is now going down. Maybe you don't enjoy sales calls because it feels really, really challenging. I want to give you some tips today that's going to help that experience. So make sure that you speak to qualified people and then actually have a very good chance at closing them, and perhaps even get yourself to a point where you experience more yeses than you do no's, and you actually enjoy the people that are coming into your programs. So the first thing that is so important, but many people miss this, is qualifying the people that you speak to before you speak to them. You know, there's this thing around sales that we're just trying to get as many people on the phone as we can, and then of course we're doing whatever we can. We're implementing any sales tactic we can to get the yes on the phone. Well, that's not the best way to do it, right? That's not leveraging your time. For many of you watching this video right now, you don't have the luxury perhaps of a sales team. Even if you had a sales team, you'd still want to make sure you're qualifying leads before they go to them. But even more so when you're taking the calls yourself, right? Your time is the one thing you can't get back. You can't afford to get on the phone with 10 people to get 2 yeses. 8 of those people wasted your time, and in fact, you wasted their time because you didn't do the work ahead of time to qualify them. So what do I mean by qualify? You've got to make sure the sales funnel that you are using is doing a bunch of the telling and selling ahead of time before they even get the chance to book a call with you. Having a VSL that's 5 or 10 minutes long and then books calls is not optimal, right? That is not the best way to do it. Yes, you might get some calls booked, but they don't know enough about you yet. So they're not ready to get on the phone with you. What you need to be using is a system like a webinar. That's the best thing we've been using. We have a 45-minute webinar that does all the telling and selling of who we are, what we do, who we help, who we serve, and then people that are left at the end of the webinar then get an invitation to book a call. Now that we know we're speaking to qualified people, there's further steps. I don't have time to go into it all, but once they book a call, that's not a guarantee they're going to get to speak to me or my team, right? We're then going to have a disqualification process. There's a form on the next page. They've got to answer those questions. Even if they fill the form out, that's not a guarantee that they're going to speak to us. We assess that form and we see if they're actually a good fit based on their answers. And if we don't like what we're hearing, we'll politely cancel that call. So after all these hoops that someone has to jump through, by the time they get on the phone with you, you often have people that are excited to speak to you. Sometimes they can't even believe they're getting to speak to you, because you're the person in the videos, you're the person that did the webinar. And so it makes the conversation so much easier from the first moment you start speaking. So now I want to give you some tips for the actual phone conversation, assuming that you've already qualified them. On the phone, 2 things need to be happening, okay? Number 1 is you need to be displaying understanding. It's something that we've been teaching our clients for many, many years. You need to be in a frame of mind that you understand your avatar, you understand your dream client so well that you can, and this is the goal, this is a writer-downer, you need to endeavor to describe the problem that your prospects are experiencing better than even they can. If you can do that, you'll win the client, right? Oftentimes people will get on the phone with you and they've got their problem, they've got their issue, they're not even sure how to describe it. They're not even sure what the problem actually is. If you can ask the right questions to draw out the issue from them, you're not doing more talking than they are, they're doing most of the talking, but you're asking the right questions to draw that out. And then there's a moment in the call where you wrap it up. You wrap up what you're hearing and you describe it back to them in a way where they go, yeah, like that's my issue. You've perhaps even described it better than they could, and that is going to get you so much closer to a sale. And that's where we display understanding. So ask the right questions to get a good understanding of their situation, and then be really eloquent in the way that you describe it back to them so they deeply feel understood. And the second thing is creating true FOMO, which of course stands for fear of missing out. If your prospects on the other end of the phone assume that you're going to make them an offer at the very end, regardless of how the conversation goes, you're going to make them an offer, then they are going to feel more in the driving seat. They're going to feel like their chance to join the coaching is a guarantee, and now they're the one that can put the pressure on you to lower your price or to, give them a chance to think about it or whatever the case may be. You need to make it very clear at the beginning of the phone call that this is a phone call to assess whether they are actually a good fit, and that you turn away most people you speak to because they're not a good fit. And so you want to ask a few questions to understand if they are the right type of person to become a client before we ever even get to speaking about what your program actually entails and making them an offer. By introducing the call like that, and by dropping seeds throughout the phone call that confirm that that's the situation they find themselves in, now an offer is not guaranteed. Now you'll find that people will actually start perhaps selling themselves to you. Now you've got to back this up, right? This can't be empty words. You can't say that you don't offer to everyone, but then offer to everyone. So I would encourage you to truly make this a part of your business model. Decide who it is that you work with and who you help, and make sure that the questions you're asking is to uncover if they are actually a good fit or not, and if they're not, turn them away. Truly turn them away, because what will happen is the more you turn people away, the ones that you do invite in, they are going to feel the conviction that you have for their situation. Right? The fact that you actually do think they're a good fit and you are making them an offer, that confidence that you have in their situation and the need for your coaching is going to exude out of you, and you'll get more yeses out of those people purely because you back up what you said and you did turn some other people away. All right. So there's so much more that I could say on this topic of sales. It's a huge topic, but I'm going to leave it there for today's video. Hopefully this was helpful. If you would like my help and my team's help with this kind of stuff, we can help you with this entire process. Not just the sales, but the qualification part, the webinar, filling it with the right traffic that are ready to become clients. If you have not got your coaching or course creation business to a point where you're generating consistent revenue every month, we can help, and you can inquire below. There's a link in the description box to a free training that I've got for you that you can register for. That's going to walk you through this whole process A to Z, scaling a coaching and training business to at least 20K a month. And then at the end of that training, you'll have the invitation to book a call with my team, and we can discuss whether becoming a client is the best thing for you at this point. Regardless, you'll enjoy the training and you'll learn a bunch. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. We'd greatly appreciate that. And if you want to hear more about this topic of sales, we've also got another video right here that I think you'll really like. I'll see you in a future video.